Welcome to Bragg About It. Right here, I'm Megan Bragg.
And I'm Carlene Bragg.
Of course, we are bringing you some really cool folks who are right here in Charlotte and have something to brag about. And we want to brag about them too.
Brag more.
Because why
not? We don't do it enough.
Yeah, really.
Pat yourself on the back.
We need more brags.
Right?
We really do. Our next guest is very exciting. She is someone who helps make Charlotte sparkle with all of the events that she does.
She makes dreams come true.
She really does.
Yeah.
As someone who's getting married soon, I can't even imagine what she has to go through. Ivy Robinson is here. She has had her event business for over 20 years. Ivy, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to talk to you about all the fun stuff, especially here in Charlotte. So let's talk about your business a little bit. You started 24 years ago. What made you want to get into the space?
It was all default. So my background is fashion merchandising and communication. I wanted to be Katie Couric on the Today Show. So I interned at CNN. I did the local NBC station, undercover reporting, all of that.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden I was in Atlanta at CNN, and a sorority sister was like, when we go back to finish our college year, our senior year at NC State, why don't you help me run this business? And that's how I got into it, doing the event planning. So I was always the creative mind, and she was logistics, and so that's how it just evolved. So I worked with her, and then she wanted to go sell real estate, and then I ran a venue, and I was running this venue, doing all the marketing, sales, all that good stuff, and the brides on the side were saying, will you help me finish planning my wedding? And it evolved.
Yeah. Obviously, weddings have changed so much, right?
Yeah.
Since you've gotten into it. Right. What is the biggest change that you've seen, especially from now to 24 years ago? And you don't have to say the price, because we all know that.
Things have gone up, clearly.
Price definitely has changed. I mean, back then, $50,000, which is still a lot of money today, but you need to add several zeros after that. One of the biggest things, I mean, when I started my business, it was dial-up. Internet, and you had to wait until the magazines came out to see if you're featured and get the inspiration. So now you have social media, you have content creators, you are like seeing things live in the moment, and that's the biggest change, is keeping up with the social media and the trend of this everything being instant.
And I'm sure too, brides are like, oh my gosh, wait, I just saw this yesterday, like can we change this? Is that are you running into that a lot? Or
we do have a lot of last minute changes because they see it on TikTok or Instagram. But one of the things that we're seeing, which we can talk about as well, is the change is this quiet luxury and not being so trendy.
Yes.
And so I'm starting to see a fallback on not, I just saw it on TikTok, I have to have it now.
That's good.
So obviously you've been in the game for 20 years. You've seen trends come and go. Is there any trend that you're like, if I see another one of these at a wedding, I'm going to lose it? Because trends come and go.
That's a great question. I'm trying to think if there's anything, things that have stayed that people still love, and I didn't think they would. Are these late night, like glow hats, all that stuff. I thought that would have faded out a while ago, and it doesn't. People still love it. They
like
love
glow sticks and the
We've been doing trucker hats. With like their monogram or something funny on it, so they take away that at the end of the night. So I personally thought that would fade, and it hasn't. People
I love a trucker hat. I'm
a trucker hat girl, so I'm thrilled when they want to pass out a trucker hat.
I was just at my godbrother's wedding over the weekend in Long Island, and when I got that trucker hat and glow, wristlet, I was the happiest person ever. I don't know why.
People go nuts. Couple drinks, give them some flashy, clapping, glowing.
Yeah, I love it. So now you do a lot of other events as well around Charlotte. Do you want to talk about those a little bit? What other events are you specifically, doing here in the Queen City besides weddings?
Yeah, so we dabble some into corporate. Crescent Communities is a client of ours, so we do a lot of their groundbreaking and tons of events for them. We just helped Truess do their hospitality for the PGA that just happened a couple weeks ago. The other thing that we do are a lot of our clients, once we do their wedding, it carries on to their other lifetime events. So we've already done 2 baby showers this year. I just had a client call me Sunday, hey, can you help do my daughter's 40th birthday party? I did all 3 of her daughter's weddings. And so it evolves into more social events, a little bit of corporate, and then we just keep going with the families for years. I mean, the lady who called me Sunday, it was 20 years ago I did her first daughter's wedding.
Wow.
And then I did the other 2, and now we're doing one of them's 40th birthday party.
Amazing.
Yeah. So since you've been a part of this for 20 years, and again, like we said, trends come and go, how has Charlotte changed in the event space?
Yes. So Charlotte has changed a lot in the sense that we have great venues now. Back when I started, there weren't very many. There was like 2 and some hotels. So venues are coming in. They're actually starting to be a little more cutting edge and keeping up with the bigger markets, such as Miami and New York. So we have access to things that we used to not have access to. So that's a great thing. So Charlotte has definitely stepped up and given the wedding world and the events world something to talk about.
Right.
Yeah.
What is your favorite event to put on? I know weddings are very special, but like you were saying, you've done all these other milestone corporate. What's your favorite?
I'm still a wedding girl.
You love love.
I love love. I love love. And the thing about the weddings is that it is such a great emotional happy day. Seeing that reaction right when the bride walks in and that first dance, that's when you know you've done it. It's just you work on it for anywhere from 15 months. I've had one year I had 3 weddings 3 months or less that we planned it and did everything. And so that's one thing. You don't have to stay engaged for 12.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can do it whenever you want.
Yeah.
The quickest I've ever done is 9 weeks.
Wow.
9 weeks.
Wow.
But after that, it's 3 months. So yeah. And she wasn't pregnant.
No, she was just like, I'm ready. You're like,
not a shotgun situation.
Right, we're not shotgunning it. Yeah, she was just like, hey, why wait? I was like, I'm with you.
You're like,
let's do
okay,
it.
let's go.
So, but it's still the weddings. Still kind of hold my heartstrings.
Yes, I'm sure it's a very special moment. A lot of people too are like, okay, well, all they do is see the wedding day and how it comes together, right? They're like, well, because my dad said this. He's like, I have a wedding planner, and he's like, well, what is she doing? And I'm like, you have no idea what this. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you, the men have no idea. The dads, they have no idea until afterwards, and then they're like, oh, I got it now. We need to tip them.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So just behind the scenes, how difficult is it to not only just put on these weddings, but for you have a great reputation. Right. You're doing all of these weddings and events in Charlotte. So what does that take?
It takes confidence, it takes experience, and you just have to believe in your team. So being a team leader, if I am all frazzled, then my team gets frazzled. So one of the things that people always say about me is, you're calm, like, are you okay? You're too calm. And I'm like, that's just when everything escalates and it's all hitting the fan is when I come down. Right. And that's when you have to think fast on your feet, which I do. And the biggest thing is you have to read the energy of the room. And that's probably one of my biggest strengths is walking in and reading the energy. And if it is flat, we are moving that timeline quick. Like, we're going to bump the cake up. We're going to get the band going. We're going to end cocktail hour early. So I always say a timeline for me is a guideline. It is not this strict, at 10:03 we got to do this, at this. No, it's a guideline, and you got to be able to read the room.
How do you manage so many different personalities? So I'm assuming you have so many different facets of people who are working at this one event. So how do you manage all of that?
Yeah, so 90% of my job is therapy.
Right.
I could be a therapist. Yeah. And it's managing, you have to go in and set the expectation from the beginning of what you expect from actually the bride and the groom and the family, and also from your vendors, because you want to make sure that everybody's on the same page and has the same expectations. So managing them is really coming in and just, we're a team. And that's one thing, like, you have to put together a good team, because I can't do this by myself, like on a wedding day. Absolutely. When it starts raining, and I can't do it by myself. So you have to have a good team in place, and you have to trust your people.
Yeah. Okay, great. Ivy
that's a lot of
Robinson.
people.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
we'll have 50 to 100 plus on an event
Oh,
site
yeah. Oh,
that
my
we're
gosh.
managing. Yeah.
I do love that you're like, no, read the room. So,
Yeah.
like, when a wedding is like,
It's just good advice in life.
okay,
Yeah.
Read the room.
Read the room.
People need to read the room.
Yeah.
We have to do that. Ivy Robinson here with us. We're going to take a quick break. But keep it right here on Bragg About It. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Bragg About It. Now it's time to play a little game with our guest, Ivy Robinson, if you're willing, of course.
Oh, yeah. I'm always down for a game.
Great. It's called, Is It Worth the Hype? Worth the hype or not? First things first, let's talk about champagne walls. I've seen them plenty on Instagram
Oh,
the past
yeah.
few
With like the
years.
hand like poking out.
Yeah.
Randomly.
What you think?
Tired.
Tired. Over it?
Over it.
Okay.
And by the time they get the champagne, it's been sitting there and it's warm.
Oh, yeah.
No one wants warm.
No one
nobody
wants
wants
warm.
warm,
No.
flat champagne.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What about the big balloon arches?
Oh, tired.
Tired.
I'm kind of.
But you're asking the wrong girl. I'm not a balloon girl. They scare me, the popping. Now, I do love them for kids' birthday parties,
Sure.
everything, but a wedding, no.
Yeah.
What about the big floral installs?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Love.
Yes.
Love, love, love.
Signature cocktails.
Still going strong.
Yeah.
Okay. Late night snack stations.
Yep. Still going.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about themed? Like themed, like real themed,
Yes.
niche themes.
So the real theme, not necessarily in the wedding, but
Uh-huh.
as an element. So for instance, we had Clemson Tiger, and
Yeah.
we'll do like the little lucky dollar name, something like that. So yes, still going, but not. You don't want the theme to overtake the wedding. It's not a themed party.
Right. Absolutely. Okay.
Little detail themes.
Yes. You said too, you've been seeing more drone shots.
Yep.
I know like content creators, social media creators are a new thing. Are you seeing, I was asked if I wanted that at my wedding and I was like, I am a creator. No, I'm just- but
Do you not know who I am?
do you not know?
Yeah.
Are you seeing that a lot more?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a ton more because the girls want that instant, get it out,
Yep.
and they don't want to wait. So there's been this big discussion between
Sure.
the content creators and the videographers. So
Yep.
the videographers, they're producing a different type of video versus content creators. These are quick little reels that are out that day, the next day. So yes, still that's strong.
Right. And it's probably just another layer added to it.
It is.
What do you think is the biggest waste of money on events, out of all your events? Is there anything that you can think of?
Sometimes people get, while we love the details that make it special, sometimes people get too dialed in on the details that people aren't going to notice.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh-huh.
so things like, I'm trying to think of something specific that I'm like, oh, I'm so tired of that. Well, I would say like that champagne pour on the tower.
Yeah.
You don't need that.
Right.
Like, things like that are a waste of money that most people honestly don't drink champagne. You grab it, a champagne toast. Don't pass the champagne for a champagne toast. They'll take one sip and put it down, and you've just wasted a couple $1,000s on a champagne toast. Like, let them toast with what they have in their hand.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially if you're drinking liquor all night, you don't want to switch to champagne. And
Yeah.
You won't.
That's a headache.
So,
It's a headache
it
waiting
is
to
a
happen.
headache.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Let me get more towards the job itself.
Okay.
What is the public perception of what an event planner is compared to what it actually is? Is there any discrepancies there?
Yes. So a lot of people think that event planning is a hobby and it's fun. And so this is a full-time job. Like a wedding for us is anywhere minimum 500 hours over.
Yeah.
And if you start doing that times an hourly rate, you're like, oh, wow. I mean, we are getting text at 3:30 in the morning from clients. That's why I sleep with my phone on sleep. Or I
Yes.
won't get any sleep.
Exactly.
But there's so much work that goes into a wedding that people don't realize and
Right.
understand. There's so many logistics and contracts and design and making sure all the vendors are on the same page. And the thing about a wedding is you can't say, cut, take two. Like, you have a gun to your head all day long. And things will go wrong.
Sure.
It's how you handle it.
Yeah.
So there's not room for error on it. It's, you know, if the cake falls, then it falls. Like, it's not like, cut, let's start over and do that again. So, you know, you just have to be fast on your feet for everything. And people don't realize that. You need experience. You need to know how to deal with people and vendors and handle situations. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So in that same vein, since you plan for a living, and I guess in some ways plan for a living. Like the last thing I want to do on a vacation is plan anything. Are you that way? Are you? Are you?
She's like,
I was like, I'm wondering. Are you?
No, I don't plan.
Oh, you don't?
I don't plan. No, I don't
wing it.
plan. So my husband and I, last year we went to Italy.
Yeah.
We had a rental car and a plane ticket, and that was it. And we just got in the car and started driving, and we were before season, so we had availability at all the hotels.
Yeah.
And this is where ChatGPT, I was like, give me this and give me the places, and I just researched all of them. I was like, let's go
Let somebody
here.
else plan for you.
And if we wanted to stay an extra night, we stayed an extra night. If we were ready to go, we left, and then we found our hotel. And the next way, we go to Asia a lot, and did that on our last trip to Asia. So yeah, no, I'm not a planner.
for you.
My personal life is not planned.
Speaking of ChatGPT, so many
Yes.
people do use it now and are like, oh, I could just plan my wedding through
No.
ChatGPT. Yeah.
No.
Let's talk about why that's a bad idea to not even do that just for that, but a big event.
Yeah, I was at a conference last week, and it was about AI. The whole conference was, and one of the things, like what we were learning is you can't trust ChatGPT to plan your wedding. What you have to do as planners and vendors, you are still the creative. You go to and say, how can I make this better, or how can I tweak this, and then you go back. So you can't lose the human side of event planning. ChatGPT is not going to be there on your wedding day setting up your name cards, or if the transportation's wrong, or setting out your menus and your escort board. Like, who's going to do that?
Yep, absolutely.
Not them.
Not them. I know. Always fighting. Because chat does help, you know,
It does.
in every
There's
day
a time and
lives.
place for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
But it's
Yes.
like you said, when the bride is crying because something's going wrong, chat's not going to be like, it's okay,
They're there.
Sally.
Right.
I'll fix it
Calm
right
down.
now.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So that is definitely good advice there. I do want to talk about your favorite event that you've ever put on, and now it doesn't have to be your biggest one or whatever, but the one that you were like, dang, I did that.
I
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah, so that's like trying to pick your favorite kid.
Yeah. Do you feel that way about all of them, really? Or
And that's a tough question, because I don't have a favorite event. Like, they're all so special in a different way. There's some that were like very challenging, and I was just like, wow, we did it. You know, like, that was so great. I mean, we've been in fields before where ice storm came in, we couldn't get the restroom trailer out until 2 weeks later. Things like that, and but you still like, wow, we did it. So it's like you said, it doesn't, I can't identify just one, because they're all so special to me in a certain way. What I can say is, what I do love about them are the friendships that come out of it. Because you're working with these brides and these families for typically a year. And some of my best friends to this day are former clients.
Oh, I love that.
We've gone on vacations together.
Oh, wow.
We go to dinners. Like, that is probably the biggest reward of this job, are the friendships that have come out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of clients, gotta ask, what's the craziest client request you've gotten?
Oh,
I'm sure you got some doozies.
Yeah,
but-
there has to be doozies here.
we had one. It's actually my idea, and we did it.
Oh, you're like, it was on me.
I'm the crazy one.
Yeah,
I'm the crazy one. So it was probably like 15 or 16 years ago, and you've seen it since then. We wanted to hang a cake, and when it was time to cut the cake, it dropped down. So we were in the middle of a field in eastern North Carolina, yes. And so the family was in a rebar industry, and so they built the whole structure for me. So I started getting tornado warnings on my phone. And so we're in this tent in the middle of a field, and these tornado warnings are coming, and that cake is starting to, I mean, the tent's shaking a little bit, and that cake is starting to just swing a little bit in the air. And so that's where I was like, okay, we need to cut the cake now.
Yeah.
I had 300 people on the dance floor. They didn't even know what was going on outside, and I pulled that cake down real fast, and we cut it. And so that's where you got to think fast on your feet.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's so much money just like hanging
Hanging
in the
there,
balance.
exactly.
Yeah, starting to kind of swing a little bit.
It's like a tornado in the background.
Right.
You're like, we gotta get the
Let's
cake
get the
down.
cake.
Yeah. All right. Coming up next, we're gonna take a quick break here, but it's our bread and butter, like we say.
It's time to brag about it, y'all.
Time to brag about it. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Bragg About It. It's that time.
That time.
It's time to brag about it. Ivy, take it away.
Take it away.
I'm kind of humble.
I know.
I would say what I'm most proud of in my career is the reputation that I've built and sustaining a company this long, because it is hard to run a business. So many people don't realize how hard it is to run a business, and it is hard. And I would say the reputation, the friendships, and just staying authentic
Yeah.
Right.
to
Good
my
for you.
business and myself.
Yeah.
How has COVID helped, like, change? I'm sure that was a dip in the event planning space when COVID happened.
Yeah.
How was, like, the bounce back from that?
People are, I would say the biggest bounce back of COVID is that people are doing quiet luxury, and they're also focusing, which I've always focused on guest experience, but now they're dialing in on guest experience, like making sure that everything's intentional that happens that day. And it's just not, like we said earlier, oh, I saw it on TikTok, I need to do it. Like, it's intentional. It's part of the bride and groom story or the family story. Like, there's just, it's more personal.
Yeah.
Good for you.
What do you feel like is your biggest motivation in this to keep going, especially in such a difficult space? I feel like Charlotte continues to grow, right? And there's more and more event planners out there. People get on TikTok, they're like, I'm an event planner,
Yeah.
So what keeps you going, keeps you motivated?
Yeah, my clients keep me going and keep me motivated. I am still that girl that gets really excited when we book a wedding.
Yeah.
I get so excited to work with new people, and the thing with our job is every day is different. Like, we are just, you have no two same days at all. But I would say my clients keep me motivated, and it's just, I have to motivate myself too.
Yeah. What's some advice that you would give to someone trying to get into this space if they're brand new?
Yeah, the biggest thing is it's a lot of work and it's not easy. So don't confuse social media with experience. Like, you are playing with people's money. There is no do-over.
Right.
And don't make somebody's wedding, if you're not experienced, your learning curve in that sense, because you can't go back and do it like one big mess up and you're done.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
When people go to an Ivy Robinson event, what do you want them to say when they leave? Like, wow, what do you want them to say?
Yeah, I want them to say that they had a great time. It felt like the couple, like they walked in and they're like, oh, this is so them.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things a lot of people, when we book weddings, if you look at our portfolio, they're all so different. And I tell, we design around that couple and that family. And that's why you're not going to see, we're not cookie cutter at all. And we go from modern to beach to traditional. We hit it all. So I want them to leave and just be like, wow, that was so fun.
Yeah. And, I do have to, we also like to brag about you too. You are been mentioned in a lot of publications and have done some pretty big events here in Charlotte. But like I was saying, your experience being here 24 years and continuing to throw on these absolutely awesome parties is huge, especially as your own business owner. So it's really something amazing to see.
Stay down to earth and stay friends with your clients.
Yeah.
Like, it's something to brag about.
It is something to brag about.
Yeah.
So we are so happy that you were on
Thank
today,
you for
Ivy.
having
Thank you
me.
so much.
Yes,
if
thank
people
you.
want to get in touch with you, let's throw you out there, shout you out. What's the best way?
Probably go through Instagram or website. We have we have a form to fill out, and that automatically comes to me.
Great.
So yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
perfect.
Your next big event.
Yeah. Consider Ivy. We love her.
We love her. She's great.
I love y'all.
Thank you all for bragging about it. See you next week.